I talk about a lot of fragrances that I love on this channel. However, in today's video, I am going to be showing you my top 20 fragrances, period. So if you're interested, just keep watching. Hi, my name is Ayesha from simplyayesha.com. Here on YouTube, I make videos about fragrance, beauty, luxury, and lifestyle. If those are things you're interested in, please subscribe. And if you're a returning subscriber, hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. So as I said, today's video, we'll be talking about my favorite fragrances. Now, I typically do these maybe like once a year or so, and I feel like for me, I am one of those people that I kind of always have some of the same favorite fragrances, but this time around, I feel like there were a lot of switch ups, so I feel like you're gonna be surprised. So if you haven't seen my video from last year, maybe you should pause this one, but make sure you come back now. Pause this one. I'm linking my video from last September where I did the same thing. So definitely go check that video out and then come back so you can see how things have really changed up. Because the way that I do these videos is, I know a lot of people do like 10 fragrances I couldn't live without, or like 10 fragrances for life. I don't like to do it like that because I am a person that if I put these parameters on myself, I will definitely overthink them, okay? Because if I say 10 fragrances for life, that means I need to have fragrances for every occasion. That's just the type of person I am. However, when I say my favorite fragrances, these are the fragrances that immediately popped in my head that I love more than all the others. So this video actually didn't take me long to prepare, and usually I do these in 10s, but today's video I'm doing 20 because one of you all, or maybe a couple of you all, asked me to do 20 because my collection is so large. And I felt like 20 would be a more fair assessment based on the size of my collection now. So I honestly just went into my closet and pull, and then counted to see how many I had there. And I think I had to take a couple away. So that was the hardest part of the video. But honestly, this was kind of easy. So because I have 20, actually 21, but we'll talk about that. Because I have 20 fragrances, I am not going to spend a lot of time on each fragrance. And I feel like a lot of them you've heard me talk about a ton. So make sure you check out the description box of this video, because not only will I have the links like I always do, I also have promo codes down there always. But in addition to that, I will link any videos where I did specific reviews on these fragrances, because I feel like quite a few of them I have single reviews on. So if you want to know more about any of the fragrances mentioned, make sure you check out my description box, which is right below the video. So I said we were doing a top 20, but I have 21 fragrances, and that's because I have one honorable mention. So this honorable mention is none other than Tom Ford Black Orchid. This has been like my longest loved fragrance. I think I got this around like the year 2006 or something, because I remember getting it around the time when I was dating my husband, or maybe shortly after we started dating. And so this fragrance really has like a lot of memories tied to it for me. If you haven't smelled Black Orchid, you should. It's not going to be for everybody. It's quite polarizing, but for me, this is a dark, deep patchouli, floral, chocolatey type scent, but not gourmand in the way that gourmands are today. This is a very interesting scent, a very polarizing scent, but it is one that I still love. The reason it's an honorable mention is because this has probably been my favorite fragrance like for decades at this point. But I just feel like I don't necessarily want to wear this anymore. Not that I'm getting rid of it, I'm not. But it is not one that I think about wearing too often. I look at it, I smell it, I do not wear it. And I feel like I've just worn it for so long that I've just moved on from it. So it is an honorable mention because I still love it. I don't see myself ever not having this in my collection, but it's kind of more in that sentimental value as opposed to actually wanting to wear this fragrance. So yeah, that's why it's an honorable mention. Again, that's Tom Ford Black Orchid. All right, so now this is the real like 20 favorite fragrances, and these wouldn't be in no particular order. I'm just going to pull out of my little basket of loves over here. So the first fragrance that I have here is from Dior, and this is from their Privé line. It's Vanilla Diorama. So this is a beautiful vanilla scent, as the name would imply. However, to me, this definitely has an orangey type take on it. So like orange to citrus. So if you don't like orange notes in fragrances, you definitely will not like this. In addition to that orange type of note, it also has some spiciness to it, but not a ton. And it also has a little bit of booziness, smokiness to it, but again, not a ton. Everything in this fragrance is very well balanced. I also feel like it has kind of this skin type of musk to it. So in a way, it kind of smells animalic, but don't be scared by that. The way I'm saying animalic, I'm talking about like human skin, okay? Like it has that sensual animalic nature to it. And I love it, y'all. I love this fragrance. I love to wear this mainly in the fall, winter. However, I have worn it in the heat. I don't really do that so much anymore, but I have worn it in the heat before because I remember when this initially came out. I think it came out in like July or August one year, like a few years ago. And I purchased it and did a review on it. And it was hot at that time. So I was wearing it in the heat back then, but I don't really wear it so much in the heat now, but you could. It's not so deep that you couldn't wear it in the heat. It has this transparent kind of nature to it. It is beautiful and it's not sickeningly sweet in my opinion. So again, that's Vanilla Diorama from Dior Privé. Next up is one from Xerjoff. This is from the Cosmorati line, and this is Dolce Amalfi. Now, I know you guys are probably looking at this bottle saying, how can it be a favorite? It's full. And yes, it is full, but this is my second bottle. So I did empty a bottle earlier this year. And now I have this one and I absolutely love it. So this is my juicy fruit gum type of fragrance, which may be weird, but I love it, okay? So what I get from this at the top is like a bright burst of these tropical fruits, but also you have these kind of Christmas type spices mixed in with this fragrance. So think like cloves, nutmeg, cinnamon, those type of spices mixed with a juicy, sweet tropical fruit. It is so good, so unique. Not for everybody, but it's one that I absolutely love. I get good performance out of this one. I wear it year round. Looking at the color of the bottle, I always think I pull for it more in the spring, summer, and I think it's just because it's bright. But honestly, I wear this year round. I remember last December, I actually went out of town to somewhere that was actually cold, because y'all know I live in a hot climate, right? I live in Florida. But I went to Vegas in December, which was cold for me, okay? And I wore it there and it performed so well, y'all. It was so beautiful. So this is one I absolutely love. Not for everybody, but definitely perfect for me. So again, that's Dolce Amalfi from Xerjoff. Next up is another one from Xerjoff, and this is also from the Cosmorati line. This is Italica. So this fragrance is a beautiful gourmand fragrance. When I smell this, I get a milky almond toffee fragrance with like a pastry vibe to it. It is so delicious smelling, but it also has this beautiful saffron to it. And I have to say, initially when I got this fragrance, I didn't really pick up the saffron. As I have worn this fragrance and maybe my nose has developed more, I definitely get the saffron now, and it gives it a bit of like a sweet spiciness, but it's not too intense. I love this fragrance. Overall, I feel like it's a very gourmand fragrance. It is a literal gourmand fragrance, meaning it does smell like food and it does have a definite milky note. So not going to be for everybody, but it is one that I absolutely love. Again, it's done in this kind of transparent way. So even though this one is pretty intensely sweet and it is pretty literal, I've worn it when it's hot outside, okay, and it hasn't been too much because it's done in this transparent way. So it's strong, it lasts long, it performs well, it's a very potent scent, but the way that they've composed it, I don't know how they're able to do this, but the way they've composed it, it still has this transparent nature where it never feels too thick and cloying, in my opinion. So again, that is Xerjoff Italica. The next fragrance is from Kilian, and this is Love Don't Be Shy, the original. Mine is in this black bottle because it's old. It does come in a white bottle now, but I don't know. I've heard the formula change. I really don't know. Like, I don't get into all of that because honestly, get what's available, y'all. Sometimes we get caught up on, oh, it's not as good as it used to be. And I understand fragrance prices are going up and you want to feel like you were getting what you could have got 10 years ago. But honestly, you can't get it no more unless you're willing to pay all these exorbitant prices. So just let it go. Just don't worry about the formulation. If it's something that you like and it's something that you feel like performs well enough to be something you want to pay for, then go for that. Who cares if the formula changed? If you like the new formula, then go for it. Okay. Anyway, rant over. Anyway, this is gorgeous, y'all. Everybody knows what it smells like at this point. Is orange blossom marshmallow goodness. It's thick, it's sweet, it could be borderline cloying, but it never really gets like that for me. I don't find this fragrance to be extremely heavy. Like, it's there, don't get me wrong. It's there and it's heavy, but I don't find it to be like suffocatingly sweet. I guess because this is a really like sweet fragrance, but it still has that floral element to it because of the orange blossom. And so whenever I think about this fragrance, I don't think about it as being something as sweet as, say, like a caramelized vanilla. I don't know if that makes sense, but anyway, this is something that I love. I don't wear it enough, apparently, because I still have my bottle and I've had it probably like 5 years. I don't know. I'm here on the bottle, but this is one that for a long time I felt like I will only wear it on special occasions because I love it so much. And so I have not used up my bottle, but I absolutely still love this. And if I were to run out, I would purchase a refill of the new version and hope that it will be close enough. So again, that is Kilian Love Don't Be Shy. This next fragrance is a newcomer to my favorites list. This is from Thameen and this is Bravi. So this fragrance is one that I think it came out this year. It either came out at the beginning of this year or the end of last year, but it was an immediate love for me. It is quite unique. Not gonna be for everybody, but I love it. So this is like a milky walnut scent. It also has honey in here, may have some vanilla in here as well. And it has some florals in the background of this fragrance that kind of give it a slight soapy-ish vibe. So even though it's like a honey, nutty type scent, it doesn't go full on gourmand because of those kind of slightly soapy florals in it. It is so unique, but it is so good and it performs very, very well. I don't think there's been a time where I wore this like around somebody other than my household where somebody didn't compliment me on this, because it is a unique smell, but it also is quite present without being like punch you in your face. It is so good. You don't have to overspray this one though. I will say that this performs really well. So I am kind of moderate on my sprays with this fragrance, but I cannot get enough. I cannot get enough. And I'm so happy that I gave this a try, even though when I bought it, I blind bought it, y'all. And I knew it was a risky blind buy, but it worked out so well. So again, that is Thameen Bravi. Next up is another one from Kilian, and this is Apple Brandy on the Rocks. So again, my bottle's pretty full because I just refilled it, y'all. I used it up and I refilled it. So it smells so good. So this is a boozy scent, as one would imagine. Apple brandy. I don't even know if apple brandy is a real thing, y'all, but I would think this smells like apple brandy. So you're getting that rich kind of like cognac-y type smell mixed with like a green apple. It's not like a sweet, red, delicious apple. It's more like a green apple, I feel like. And then in the background, you have a oak note, which gives it a bit of woodiness, and it's good, y'all. So even though the notes sound heavy, it again is done in a very transparent, almost sparkling way. That's what this fragrance reminds me of, like a sparkling apple brandy. I guess that's the on the rocks part. I don't know. But I tend to wear this one in the summer. So even though it's a boozy scent, I feel the way it is done and the sweetness level of it and the freshness of it is definitely great for summer. I don't typically wear this too much when it's cold because I don't find that it's strong enough, but in the summer it does what it's supposed to do, and I absolutely love the smell of it. So again, that is Apple Brandy on the Rocks by Kilian. This next fragrance is from Initio, and this is Absolute Aphrodisiac. So this is a vanilla fragrance that is so seductive. I love this scent. So it's vanilla and it is sweet and kind of edible smelling, but that's not the end. Like, this is way more complex than that. So in addition to that, you have like almost, I feel like it's a fizzy, nutty nature. Like, it gives me vibes of something like Dr. Pepper, but it doesn't go that far. Just like a slight little touch of it mixed in with a vanilla. And then it has an animalic note in there, which should not scare you if you see the picture on Fragrantica. I know it's a little animal, but it shouldn't scare you. It gives it this beautiful, like musky, skin scent, sensual vibe. It is so good. This is one that I cannot get enough of. Y'all see I keep smelling it, right? Since these were my favorite fragrances, I'm not using my tester strips like I usually do. I'm just sniffing them or remembering them. But I cannot get enough. I don't need to sniff. I don't think any of these fragrances to tell you all about them, but I can't help it because I love them and they're addictive. So if you are looking for a sexy, spicy, but still sweet vanilla, you definitely should get your nose on this one. Again, that's Absolute Aphrodisiac from Initio. Next up is another vanilla. This one is Nishane Ani. So this had been my favorite vanilla for so long. I don't know if it's still my favorite vanilla. I don't know. I'm not really ready to rank my vanillas yet. I am a vanilla lover. Well, not like some of y'all, but I am a vanilla lover. But I love this fragrance. So this is vanilla, but it has this greenness to it. And it has ginger, okay? And I am a ginger lover. And to me, the ginger makes this scent. Well, all the elements honestly make this scent, but the ginger is so good in this to me. It is powerful. It is there, okay? The greenness in here, I don't feel like it's too green where it will really turn you off. To me, it doesn't smell like a plant or anything, but I definitely get a green vibe when I smell the fragrance. And then the vanilla in here is sweet and it's thick, but it's not like a cupcakey vanilla. Is not super gourmand, but it is sweet and thick, and it just gives you that like full feeling. It is so freaking good, okay? If you have not smelled Ani yet, you need to, okay? And you need to try it on your skin to see if it's gonna work for you. Some women say this leans masculine. I disagree. I love the way it smells on me. And yeah, that's why it's in this video. Again, that is Ani from Nishane. This next fragrance is from Roja Parfums, and this is Creation E Parfum Cologne. So this fragrance can also be called Enigma Parfum Cologne. So if you see that and it looks the same, it is the same. So this is my Sexy Rum and Coke scent. Oh my gosh. It is so good. So it's boozy. It's giving that sweet nuttiness that you get from like Coke or Dr. Pepper as well. And it has some woodiness in the background, but with all that, it still manages to be kind of airy. And so again, I like to wear this one in the summertime. I can definitely wear this in wintertime easy, but for some reason, I think of this as like a day date type of scent. So when I'm outside in the sunshine, with a little wind, a little breeze blowing, it just does something on the skin. It is beautiful and I love it. So even though, so good. Even though this is marketed towards men, I think it is perfectly unisex. I would love to smell it on a man one day, but I'm not going to smell it on my husband because I don't want him to ruin it for me, honestly. If it smells like really good on him and then, I don't know, I want to keep it for myself. I'm just selfish, I guess, but I would like to smell this on a man one day just to see how it smells. I would like to experience it out in the wild, you know, because I've never smelled this fragrance on anybody else, but when I smell it on myself, I absolutely love it. And my husband actually compliments me on it every time I wear it too. He doesn't know that it's marketed towards men, but that just goes to show you it doesn't matter how a fragrance is marketed, it's how you like the smell and how you think it smells on you. So again, that is Roja Creation E Parfum Cologne. Speaking of boozy scents, I have another one. So this one is from Initio and this is Narcotic Delight. So again, this is a release from this year. And it's in my favorites, y'all. And it deserves to me. I have worn this fragrance quite a bit. This is one of those fragrances that when I got it, I blind bought it, tested it out, and could not get enough. Like, I just kept wearing it. It is so good. This is a boozy, like cherry, cognac type scent. It has some woodiness to it. It has this sweetness to it. It's not overly boozy that you're gonna smell like you've been drinking all day, but the booziness is enough that it's like super addictive in my opinion. And the cherry in here is not doing the most. Like cherries is in here, but I don't think of this as a cherry scent. I more so think of this as like a cognac type scent. So good. It's so good. Can y'all hear me? It is so good. I love this fragrance. And this is probably probably my favorite release of the year. I'm pretty sure it is, but we'll see. Anyway, that is Narcotic Delight from Initio. This next fragrance is from Armani Privé, and this is Blue Turquoise. This bottle is so gorgeous. This is a salty vanilla scent, but it also has spice in here. So it has like black pepper, I believe, and some other spices in here. And then it has this woodiness to it and a slight bit of an incense note to it. So although it's a salty vanilla, which I typically associate with summer, because of all the other stuff going on in this fragrance, I actually can wear this one year round. And it is so interesting. It is such an interesting scent. I feel like this year, this summer particularly, we had a lot of salty type vanillas come out. Maybe not this year, maybe last year. I don't know. But I feel like there are a lot more salty vanillas out on the market than when I got this fragrance. But honestly, this fragrance still holds its own. It is not just a basic salty vanilla. There is so much more going on in this fragrance. It's perfectly unisex. I've heard, again, some women say it's masculine. I don't see that like at all. But we're all different. So, you know, this is one you should test out if you're interested. But it's so good. It's so good and perfect for year-round use in my opinion. So again, that is Armani Privé Blue Turquoise. This next fragrance is from Guerlain, and this is Oud Nude. So this fragrance is one that when I got it, I never expected to love it as much. So let me say, when I got it, I initially ordered a decant of this fragrance and I absolutely fell in love. I was ordering a decant of something else and I was like, oh, they have Oud Nude. Let me try that. So I really wasn't expecting much, honestly, but I got it and fell in love more so than the decant that I was really doing the order for. It is so good. I know some of y'all are gonna ask, I ordered a decant from Mercari, so I don't know any other places that you can find Guerlain decants, but sometimes you can find them on Mercari. Anyway, this fragrance is a beautiful oud, but it is done like, it's so soft. Well, soft smelling. It's not a soft fragrance, but it's soft smelling. So the oud in here is so easy to wear. It is there, but it's so easy to wear, and it's mixed with this beautiful musk. And the musk in here is not like super clean like laundry detergent. It's not super animalic either, but it does definitely give you like kind of clean skin vibe, and then mixed with the oud. It is so freaking good. It is so good. This is one that I feel like you have to wear it on the skin to get the true picture of it. But it's one that whenever I wear it, like I just cannot get enough of it. It's soothing to me. It's comforting, but it's also different and not boring. So if you are in an area where you can get your nose on some Guerlain fragrances, I would say definitely check this one out. I know the price tags are high on these fragrances, but honestly, I feel like this was 100% worth the money. So again, that is Oud Nude from Guerlain. The next fragrance I have is from Chanel, and this is Coromandel. So this fragrance is an oldie but a goodie. It's the newer one to my collection. I picked this up last year and it has quickly become a favorite of mine. So this is a patchouli scent. I feel like that's probably the most prominent note. But don't let that scare you. Well, maybe do. I don't know. Maybe do. Some of y'all hate patchouli. I don't. I love patchouli. I mean, I'm not like the biggest patchouli lover. That's not my favorite note or anything, but I definitely can appreciate a good patchouli. So this is a patchouli scent. It also has a white chocolate note in here, but it doesn't really go gourmand. It just gives it a bit of a sweetness. And then for me, this is more so of like an ambery, warm patchouli scent. So it smells resinous. It smells sweet in the way that amber smells sweet, but not really edible. It is so good. It also kind of has a sparkling vibe. There is something very special about this fragrance. And although it is an old fragrance, like it's been out a long time, it still does it for me. Like, I don't know if I'm just moving into that age era where I'm okay with the vintage smelling fragrances, but I love this fragrance. And I don't think, like when I smell it, I don't think that it smells like something from the early 2000s. I believe that's when it came out. I don't feel like it smells like something like that. I think it smells interesting, and a lot more interesting than a lot of these new releases that are coming out today. So again, that is Coromandel from Chanel. The next fragrance is from Tom Ford, and this is Tobacco Vanille. So as the name would imply, this is a tobacco and vanilla scent. The tobacco in here to me is definitely present, but it doesn't smell smoky. It smells like tobacco that hasn't been smoked, in my opinion, like tobacco leaf or whatever. The vanilla in here is warm and it's sweet, but I wouldn't classify it as a gourmand vanilla. It's more of a spicy vanilla. In addition to the tobacco and the vanilla, there are other spices in here, and I feel like I can definitely pick up cloves, which I happen to love the smell of cloves. As long as it's not too intense, I really like that smell. So I picked that up in here. And so of course, because of the cloves, it makes me think of like Christmas time whenever I smell this. And I remember one year I actually wore it to a Christmas party. So now that I kind of have those associations with that, I typically only wear this one in the winter. But honestly, it's not extremely heavy that you couldn't wear this in the fall or even at nighttime during the summer. It's not extremely heavy in my opinion, but it is so, so good. And this is one that I feel like with the rise of the Tom Ford prices, I know they're crazy. Like I've slowed down on buying them too because the prices are just so ridiculous now. But even with the rise in price, this is one I feel like is still worth getting your nose on if you like tobacco scents. I still feel like it's worth the money. And if I had to pay full price for it, I don't want to because I never want to pay full price. But if I had to, if there was no other option, I would do it. So again, that is Tobacco Vanille from Tom Ford. Next up is a newcomer. And this fragrance is from Chris Collins and it is Lust Eau de Lis. This fragrance, y'all, I was so surprised when I got this fragrance on how it smelled. It smells freaking amazing. So to me, this is like a chocolatey oud fragrance, but it has this walnut note in here. And look, I got 2 fragrances in this video with walnut, so maybe that like was just doing it for me this year, but it has this walnut in here that gives it this nutty smell, but it's a different type of nutty smell. The oud in here is not super strong or thick. Like I said, it leans more gourmand, like chocolatey oud, nutty, delicious, without smelling exactly like food. This is so freaking good. This is probably, if I were to think about like my oud fragrances that are really like oud prominent, this would probably be my favorite. Just like right off the bat while I'm thinking about like, if I had to say my favorite like prominent oud fragrance, I think it would have to be this. Yeah. Previously, I probably would have said Oud for Greatness, and I do still love that fragrance, but it's not in this video. Spoiler alert. This is something, y'all. This is something, and I'm so happy that we're getting ready to move into some cooler weather so that I can wear it more, because every time I wear this, I just cannot stop smelling myself. It performs well, and it's just good. So again, that is Lust Eau de Lis from Chris Collins. So this next fragrance is from Amouage, and this is Material. So again, this is another vanilla. This vanilla is sweet, but it's not cupcakey or anything like that, but it's more of a like vanilla, not necessarily gourmand vanilla. In addition to the vanilla, there are some spices in here, some incense. I believe it has frankincense in here. And then overall, I feel like this is a very like warm, ambery, resinous type of vanilla. It is so good, so addictive. Again, one that I can't stop smelling when I wear it. It performs very well, and although it's an Amouage fragrance and they get this reputation for being very complex, I find that this one is probably one of the easier to wear fragrances from the house. Still not easy because I still find this to be like a complex vanilla, so it's not going to be for everybody. But if you like vanillas and you haven't tried this one yet, I feel like you definitely should get your nose on it. It is something special and I love it. Actually, don't get your nose on it because I don't want all the TikTok girlies talking about it. I'm just kidding. I'm not a gatekeeper, but sometimes I wish I could be. Anyway, this is Amouage Material. This next fragrance is from Maison Francis Kurkdjian, and this is Grand Soir. So this is my favorite amber fragrance, meaning like whenever I think about this, I think of its class as an amber fragrance. So obviously it's an amber fragrance. In addition to the amber, I think it has vanilla and labdanum in there, which is another resin. But overall, what I get from this is like rich vibes. And I don't really like when people say that, but this honestly smells so luxurious. So if you think about, there was an amber scent that I used to like back in the day. I think it was Victoria's Secret, like Amber Romance or something. It's nothing like that, okay? It is nothing like that. When I think about those kind of ambers, they are like very cloying and very strong. This fragrance is like the amber of all ambers. It is so luxurious. It's warm without being too heavy. It is sophisticated. It is unisex. And I know there are quite a few women that think this smells masculine, although I do not agree. But it's just so well done. It sounds so simple, but it is so well done the way that Francis Kirkjohn was able to blend this, or whatever perfumers do, okay? Whatever he put his foot in this, okay? He put his foot in it. It is amazing. And I honestly feel like with Francis Kirkjohn, one of the beauties of his creations is that he's able to take things that are simple, but do them so well that it takes it to another level. I don't know how to explain that, but yeah, Grand Soir is my favorite amber and one that I feel like I could never get tired of. So again, that's Grand Soir. So next up is from Kajal, and this is called Lamar. So this is a beautiful, like, juicy pineapple fragrance that also has this woodiness to it. Also kind of smells like there's a saffron note in here as well that gives it like this sweet spiciness to it. This is beautiful, y'all. It has a rose note in here that I feel like a lot of ladies pick up, but on my skin, I don't really pick that up. But as I'm smelling it here from the atomizer, I do pick it up, but on my skin, I'm getting more juicy pineapple, some spiciness, some woodiness, but it's gorgeous. Although this is a pineapple scent, I definitely feel like you could wear it year round because it has enough depth to it. It has enough presence to it. And this actually layers really well with a lot of things if you're into that. I don't layer it all the time when I wear it, but I have layered it before and it layers really well with a lot of things. So this is definitely like a summertime staple for me, and it has been for a few years. So again, that is Kajal Lamar. The next fragrance is from Rosenda Matteau, and this is number 5. So this fragrance is so gorgeous. It is a like leathery, musky fragrance. I believe it's saffron in this fragrance that is giving it the leathery smell. Yeah, it's saffron, but it's the leathery type of saffron. So don't think Baccarat Rouge saffron. No, this is dark, this is deep type of saffron. And then you mix it with this musk that is slightly animalic, but it is so sensual. This fragrance is so freaking addictive to me. It is so addictive. It has a little bit of sweetness to it, but I wouldn't call it a sweet fragrance. But it has just enough to like hook me, I feel like. It is so good. And some people do get like a rubber tire scent out of this fragrance. I will say the first time that I smelled this fragrance, I got it too. And I was so disappointed because I got it and I was saving it for a haul. So I got it, smelled it, and I was like, oh, that's not gonna work. And then maybe like a couple weeks later, I think I like sprayed it on my hand. I was like, oh, I'm loving this. So this is one you definitely need to try on skin and maybe try more than once, because I don't get the rubber tire smell anymore. Not really, not like what I first smelled. But it's addictive. It is addictive to me. So again, that is Rosenda Matteau, number 5. And then this last fragrance, I'm sure some of y'all guessed it was going to be in here, but it is Amouage Sunshine Woman. This fragrance is, whenever somebody asks me my favorite fragrance, I never know what to say because I have so many favorites. I just did a whole long video about all my favorites, right? But whenever somebody asks me, I tend to go for this one because this is the one that immediately comes to mind. So I guess maybe it is my favorite fragrance. I don't like to commit to that. But if I was forced to say my favorite fragrance, I guess this would be it. This is a apricot. Well, there's no apricot listed, but to me, the osmanthus that is in this fragrance smells like apricot. So I'm gonna call it an apricot fragrance. And then it has this beautiful like white tobacco with it, and it's so good. It is sweet without being too sweet. It has like this like almond note in the background of it that gives it a bit of nuttiness, gives it a bit of texture. And the floral component is there. So even though I'm saying it smells like apricot, it still smells like there's a flower in here as well. It is so good. It's interesting. There's a lot going on, and it's not going to be something that's for everybody, but this is one that I, again, feel like I could never get tired of. It smells so good on me. And yeah, this is one I never need a compliment on it. I've gotten compliments on it, but I don't need a compliment on this. This is one that I just really thoroughly enjoy wearing and sniffing. I don't wear it as much as I should because honestly, I'm one of those people that sometimes I save my favorites and I don't wear them. I try to show love to everything in my collection. This is one that I can wear year round. I typically go for it in spring, summer, maybe because it reminds me of sunshine, the beautiful color of the bottle and everything. But it can definitely be worn year round. It can hold its own in the winter because of that white tobacco and because of the kind of thick sweetness of the apricot in here. So again, that is Amouage Sunshine Woman. Y'all, I am so tired of talking. This video was so long. I mean, I really enjoy smelling all my favorite fragrances, but I feel like my voice is dry. I don't know how those descriptions was getting towards the end, but these are my fragrances that I absolutely love. So these are my favorite fragrances. Make sure if you haven't seen my video from last year, like I said, make sure you check that one out so you can see how much has changed, because I was honestly surprised at how much my choices changed. Anyway, if you've tried any of these fragrances, let us know what you think of them in the comments. These are my favorite fragrances, but I do realize that a lot of them are unique, and with uniqueness, not everybody's going to get them. Not everybody's going to understand them. Not everybody's going to like them. So it's okay if you don't like some of my fragrances, but let us know, like, what do you think of some of the fragrances that I mentioned in the comments down below. If you're still watching this video, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel. I upload every Sunday and Wednesday, and I have a lot of bonus content thrown in as well. So make sure you have your notification bell on so that you don't miss a video from me. Also, check out my website, www.simplyayesha.com. Get on my email list over there. And if you want to connect with me more, follow me on Instagram or TikTok. All my links for all the fragrances that I mentioned, along with all my social media links, will be in the description box below. I hope you guys enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed making it. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next one. Bye.